Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Hello everyone, welcome. So we're going to talk about the new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 5. So this opening scene is Melody. Melody is going over to Tiffany's house, who, she's very pregnant at the moment, and they just chat, they catch up a little bit, and Melody tells her about the tea thing that she's going to be having, and it's supposed to help them with their communication of like all the women in the group. So basically, it's a tea party, and they're all gonna dress up and stuff, and there will be a lady who's going to be there to kind of like give them a class in communication. So then Melody tells her what happened with her and Tisha. They're in a bit of a better space now. She did invite her to the birthday party, and then Tiffany says, "Well, what about Martell?" So that was a mess last episode. So it turns out that after the party, the little girl did call Martell to see if he wanted to take her out because, that's what he said he wanted to do. And he said no. And Melody recorded it all, which I understand why at this point she has to record these calls and conversations. This just proves that Martell had no intention of being at the party. He wanted to be there because he knew he couldn't be there. That was not his day of custody. I mean, that's what the court said. He just wanted to be there for no reason. But y'all can see, because a lot of people like to say that Melody, she was not being a good mom for not allowing Martell to be there. But like I said, he was not supposed to be there. But just to show you guys, Melody gave him the opportunity because she didn't have to give him the option of taking the little girl out after the party was over. So she did that for him. And he said no, according to this call. So it just shows that Martell was definitely in the wrong last week. And she also says that she wishes she would have had kids with a man, not a queen. I was like, damn. So then next up, we have Kimmi and Maurice at the house. They're kind of cooking and they're talking about their kid. And they're having a little bit of a clash in their parenting. I'm still confused why they call their kid Monster. But here's the thing. So Maurice wants Kimmi to be a little bit more tough with him, but she feels like because she is the stepmom, she does kind of see a fine line that she can't cross because she isn't the biological mother. So then Maurice takes it the wrong way and says, like, well, do you even feel like you're his mom, or you even feel like you're his parent? And then all of a sudden he brings up Kaiwa. And then he calls her on the phone. He puts her on speaker and he puts Kimmi on the spot. I thought it was very unnecessary. And I totally agree with Kimmi on this situation. So next up, Stormi takes Keke to a spiritual healer. As she's about to start, the healer says that she's a child of God. So Kiki's like, wait a minute. Doesn't all this energy and crystal thing kind of clash with God's rules? And then the lady says that no, that people who think that haven't read the Bible clearly. I don't know. I would have to look more into that because that sounded, I don't know. So they do the thing, and then when they end, Stormi and Keke start to talk. Even though they haven't necessarily been friends, they do like each other, and they are talking about stuff, and they bring up the Tiffany thing. Stormi says that Keke shouldn't have done that because Tiffany was is pregnant. She's with child. So Keke doesn't hold back and she says, well, if she is with child, then she shouldn't be saying things like the things she's saying. She shouldn't be putting herself in a situation because people are still going to get mad. In this next scene, it was pretty boring, pretty dull, to be honest. It's Martell and Maurice, and they're at a place, Maurice is building so they can have their offices there, and Martell begins to talk about this birthday party. And here's the thing about Martell. The way he says things, like, he does it in a way where you almost believe he's the victim, but like, it just shows you how much of a gaslighter and manipulator he is. And then Maurice starts to say something about his kid, and not his kid doesn't want to follow the rules at home, so Maurice is scared of what's going to happen when he goes out in the real world, and he doesn't want to follow society's rules because that's pretty bad. But then that's why I couldn't understand, like, if they're having such a hard time, then like him having a hard time with Kimmy, I don't know. I obviously don't know the entire situation, but I think there's something Maurice is doing wrong. But we finally get to Melody's tea party. The ladies begin to arrive, and it's not just the ones from the show. There's a few more, and Stormy's the last one to come, and she brings her mom. So they're all sitting down. The lady who's talking to them about communication and etiquette begins to tell them how to drink their tea, how to stir it, how to hold the cup, and all that stuff. And then Melody brings up an example of how the group has been sometimes not communicating effectively. And her example is Tiffany and Keke. And the coach starts to say some things, and she says that curse words pretty much mean you're kind of lacking vocabulary. And they all jump on her and they're like, that's not true, that's not true. But then Miss Neal, who's there also, says, you know what, enough with the BS. I feel some energy between Stormy and Melody. So then Stormy's mom says, well, the energy is between Stormy's mom and Melody. So then Melody and Stormy's mom begin to go at it. So here's the thing. There was a recording of Melody talking bad about Martell. No one knows who recorded it, but some people alluded when it all happened that it could have been Stormy. And the mom feels like Melody didn't shut it down as much as she would have liked, which I kind of get that. But Melody did say that it wasn't Stormy. And moreover, I also feel like if Stormy had that issue, then Stormy should be the one bringing it up to Melody, because then, like, when this is the thing, when they bring the moms into it, I understand, of course they're trying to protect their daughter, I get that. But let's say, for example, here, this could have gone left, right? Like, let's say Stormy's mom began to argue with Melody. Melody, what if she would have chosen to defend herself? Then people would have been like, oh, Melody's going after someone's mom. So that's why I would rather the moms not get too involved with the mess. But, you know, like I said, Melody didn't want to argue, so she just simply apologized if it hurt them. So then they move on from that, and Miss Keke takes the opportunity to ask Tiffany, what the hell is going on? Tiffany says that she doesn't trust Keke because of what she did to Tisha. But Keke says that, well, Tiffany has known her over the years for a long time, actually. So to act as if the Keke and Tisha thing was her first experience with Keke is a lie. And Tiffany is saying that she still doesn't really know Keke. And Keke says, well, I went on a whole crusade to help find your father. And then Kimmi jumps in. I'm not sure why she did. And they begin to argue. And then Keke just had to throw in a dig and said, well, I've always known who my dad was. I think that was a little bit low. But I do believe Keke as far as Tiffany knowing her, because she gives examples of how they knew each other from when their kids were at soccer and stuff like that. And then the lady who's there to teach them tells Keke, take a deep breath, relax. She tells Keke she's beautiful, so her aura should match. And instead of being mad, she should just have a normal conversation where she's saying, this is my problem that I had with you, this and that. Which I get that, but I mean, when you're in an argument, you're not really thinking about that in the moment. And then the lady says that she also shouldn't have put that dig about the dad. And Keke says, oh no, that was not meant to be a dig. And everybody is like, yes, it was. Especially Kimmi. She was like, that was absolutely a dig. So Keke says, no, not at all. And she tells Tiffany, if it came across as a dig, then I do apologize because that's not what I meant. And then Melody ends the party on a good note and gives them all gifts. And that was the end of the episode. Next week's going to get interesting because it looks like Tiffany's not going to escape the drama just yet. She's actually going to start some new drama with Tisha and with Keke as well. So that's going to be interesting. And then more than anything, Miss Spring, Summer, September, Miss Shereé is going to be coming on next week, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Obviously they're doing cameos. Martell's in Atlanta, and Shereé's doing some cameos here. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll be here next week talking about it. So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts about Melody and Martell and the birthday thing? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised that he didn't take the girl after he said he would. What do y'all think about that? And what do y'all think about Stormi's mom going after Melody, and what do you think about Keke and Tiffany? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You'll have a great one. Bye.